Jaguars are going to be playing this Sunday, and I'm here to tell y'all that this is the biggest game so far in the Houston Texans season early on. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. Look, I'm not saying this is a must-win game. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, anything around that realm as I scratch my eye there. But the Jacksonville Jaguars game, this is a very potential big game for the Houston. It's the first big game for the Houston Texans season. I'll say that right now. The Jags game, you got to understand this, Texans fans. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-3. Y'all are going, man, they look like garbage. They look like ass against the Buffalo Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team with Trevor Lawrence, a team with Doug Peterson, the Super Bowl winning head coach, Trevor Lawrence, who was, the generational, quote unquote, quarterback. There's a lot of expectations on that team, and they started 0-3. Expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to be super desperate this Sunday. Expect them to play with their head on fire. Expect them. They're going to do whatever it takes to not fall to 0-4. That could spell some disaster for the Houston Texans. And the Texans got to understand that this game is relatively important. You are 2-1. The Colts are 1-2. Yes, you beat them already. They are a game behind you. You really want to put away the Jacksonville Jaguars a little bit early into this season. You go into Jacksonville. You go into NRG. You coming home. Texans fans, y'all got to understand. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be very desperate to get a W. Look, if you beat them, they go into 0-4. They're going to start having conversations around, if they're not already, they're going to have to start the fire, if it's not on already, around firing Doug Peterson. Like, that's the conversation they're going to be having, and it could be happening relatively soon if the Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that just gave up one of their worst losses in franchise history to the Buffalo Bills. But on the other side, our Houston Texans are coming off a really bad loss in themselves, and I'm hoping, I guess, that this loss is a little bit of a wake-up call that this shit ain't easy in the NFL, man. You can't just ride off-season hype and show up and think you're going to get a W. Nah, this shit ain't easy, man. It don't matter what team it is. They'll go in there and whoop your ass. We saw that with the Minnesota Vikings. Nothing about the Vikings really scares me. Besides the defense and Brian Flores, awesome. Offensively, nothing about them scared me. Okay, you shut down Justin Jefferson in the second half, got him a catch. Sam Darnold, sure, 4 touchdowns, 4 out of 5 trips in the red zone. He cashed in. Defense got to play better. We all know that. But only 188 passing yards. Aaron Jones, okay, cool. Ultimately, if I had to replay the Minnesota Vikings and let's say like a random scenario that came out, well, hell, I don't mind playing them in the Super Bowl because first of all, I'd be in the Super Bowl, and B, we whoop that ass. Third, the Houston Texans got to understand that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be hungry to get this win. Trevor Lawrence is going to be expected to play better, and I'm sure he will play better. The Jaguars are not something to just, it's just the Jaguars. No. If they win, now they are 1-3. You are 2-2. They are a game behind. And now the Colts could potentially either still be one game behind or tied with you. And that's just not something you want. You want to grasp a hold of this division, get this win on Sunday at NRG with the crowd rocking and rolling and doing their thing. Tailgates live. The Houston Texans got to get this win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not a must-win game, but if they lose, you then play the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not quite high that our Houston Texans, the way they've recently played, and maybe my tune could change depending on how they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they do against the Bills, it could go either way, but as of right now, I think the Bills are dominating you. They looked fantastic so far this early part of the season. I'm excited to see them come here to Houston and see how they do on the road in our crowd, in our environment when we are rocking and rolling here in NRG. But ultimately, the Houston Texans got to understand that if you lose to the Jags, you could also lose to the Bills. And now all of a sudden you're 2-3. And that's not a slippery slope that I want to entertain. The Houston Texans, take care of your business on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockies, go Texans. You have a blessed day.